podcast for those who suffer, which is everyone.
It's a space where we can speak honestly about what it feels like to be in desolate places without losing hope.
Welcome to In the Thicket.
Hey everybody. Hello, welcome back.
Yeah.
Buongiorno.
Yeah.
Erin's learning Italian. She was just telling us.
That's right.
That's right, exactly.
There we go.
So we've decided to do this whole episode in Italiano.
Oh,
You're
bene.
Yeah,
Bene. Sorry, I'm sorry.
I can speak Italian. Mangia.
That's right, exactly.
Lasagna.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Actually,
Hello,
and
everyone.
I'm making fun of Italian culture, but I'm Italian, so I'm allowed to. I think that's how that
there you
works.
Yes, Nicole was just saying if she goes to Italy because she looks Italian, then locals will come up to her and speak Italian, and she'll be like, "Meh."
I was in Italy like 5 years ago, and I was like on the subway, and Italians, it happened at least once, potentially twice, came up to me and were like blah blah blah, like asking for directions, and I was like, I'm a
Non
tourist, like
capisco.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's fun. That was right before COVID, eh? Wasn't that when you were in Milan?
It was February of 2020 that I was there.
Boy.
And we went to see all of the sites, and then the next day Italy shut down.
That's so
Whoa.
crazy.
So in the nick of time.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That's right.
I
I guess we should
anyways.
introduce ourselves, eh?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. For anybody that's new, that's listening, welcome to, for the first time. My name is Rachel. I'm one of the hosts of the In the Thicket podcast, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Erin.
Yay, that's us. And maybe we will now tell you what our summer, because so basically, if you're new, we've been kind of on hiatus. Usually we would have we were probably releasing this episode around the same time we normally release our episodes.
Yep.
But we called off our season 5 a little early to discern sort of where the Lord was sort of directing the next stage of the podcast. And so we've spent some time doing in prayer and kind of discerning that, and we're back and we're excited to be back. But before we tell you guys kind of what we discerned and the plan, let's just catch up a little bit with y'all.
Nice.
So, Erin, how's your summer? What's been going on?
Well, first of all, every time you say we're back, I really want to sing Backstreet's Back, all right? That's my initial impulse.
That's our
is
era.
to-
That is the song of
Yeah, exactly. So
There you
it's
go.
totally, and the year of most of our listeners, according to our stats. So I think
there
we
you go.
would
They're all
appreciate that. Yeah.
millennials.
Yeah.
Great.
We'll prepare.
Some are a
We'll
bit younger,
prepare.
I think.
That's true.
Or
That's
older,
true.
but
Summer. Yes.
That's the average. Yes.
Yes, that's right. So how was my summer? My summer was good. I went to New York for the final vows of Sister Beata Victoria, who is one of the Sisters of Life, who is lovely. So I got to do that, and then I had my nephews for a little while. I had, for those who are just joining us, I wrote a book last year called Espoused to Christ, A Theology of Consecrated Virginity. And it's like one of the first books that's available for consecrated virginity, of which I am a consecrated virgin. So it was a gift to be able to do that. But it's funny because it sold out in less than a month. And then they had an issue with the printer. So it took them a few weeks to reprint it. Yeah. And then once it was reprinted and then they fulfilled back orders, then they sold out with the other ones they had printed again in like 2 weeks.
Wow, Erin.
I know. So, okay,
That's so
but
wild.
qualifying that by saying, I don't know that they had that much faith that the book would sell real well, because
They may not have printed like
It's
a
a little niche.
crazy amount of books.
they did not.
But
they did
still.
not. Still, it's I'm happy
Yeah.
that it's on its third printing technically
Yeah.
now.
You don't have to tell people how many books
Right,
went
exactly.
into a printing. If it was 5 books or 1,000
That's right,
million
exactly,
books.
exactly. It's somewhere in between there. That's
There
all
you go.
what I'll say. Yes, exactly. Yeah, but it's just fun. So I've been doing a lot of like I did some press for that, and then just arranging things because a lot of my summer has been looking at learning Italian, and I'm going to Rome at the end of September. I'm going for 3 weeks for the Jubilee of Consecrated Life. So I've just been like,
So
you know,
beautiful.
yeah, like preparing all the stuff and getting my international driver's license and like doing all those stupid random things that you have to do in order to not be thrown in jail in a foreign country. So that's my It's been my goal,
Great.
you know? Yeah, exactly.
goals.
Yeah. How about you, Nicole? What was your summer like?
Yeah, my summer was great. So I'm a university professor, so my year is very, very busy from like August to May. And then June, July, it was pretty quiet. So I did a couple things. I renovated my powder room, which was like super fun.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I need to show you guys pictures.
Totally.
Anyway, maybe we'll post them somewhere, or if not, you can just imagine. But basically, I took it from beige powder room with like a toilet and a sink to I put like picture frame molding around the bottom, and then I put wallpaper on the top half that's like birds and flowers and very whimsical.
Wow.
And I painted the bottom half like it's actually like kind of a bright blue color. And I installed like a new faucet that's gold and a new little hook, like a towel hook that's like in the shape of a bird. And anyways, it was just
that's
really
amazing.
fun.
That
And
great.
so that was my first project, or first thing I did this summer. And then we were in Canada so I live in Nashville, but I'm from Canada. So we were in Winnipeg for 2 weddings. My youngest sister got married and a good friend of mine got married. And then I'm just telling you all my whole summer.
I love
you all
it.
for listening, lovely listeners. And then we camped and hiked, Nathan and I, my husband and I, north of Lake Superior. So we drove from Winnipeg to Thunder Bay, and then north through, Wawa, and we hiked at different provincial parks and national parks. Took a ferry, did Bruce Peninsula. It was just like so wonderful. And that part of Canada is like very, very meaningful and special to me. And so it was just like very deeply rejuvenating. And I've told this story that we were at one of the national parks called Pukasaw, or it's spelt like Pukasqua, but it's pronounced Pukasaw.
Okay.
And we were hiking there, and there was one hike that had like these different plaques talking about the area. And one of the plaques is explaining that like the indigenous peoples of this area, like north of Lake Superior, believed that like the Great Spirit or God was present in a very special way around Lake Superior just because of the beauty. And all of it was just like, yeah, like I believe that. Like I feel that. Like that's legit. Like so that's what it was like. It was just really beautiful and rejuvenating. And now I'm back and semester started, but it was just very restful.
Can I share a funny story before Rachel shares her update? Because it involves camping. It doesn't really involve camping, but I have decided that I would really like to spend some more time in the outdoors because it's helpful to do like a retreat day once a month, but harder to find places. So just to rent like a campsite and go overnight would be sweet. So then I was like, okay, I have an SUV. I'm going to get an air mattress, and then I'm going to get, for the windows, you have these like screen things that you can put over them so you can lower the windows and bugs don't come in. So I got those. I was like all set. So some friends of mine went up to like a camp for a week, and I went up and stayed for a night. I was like, perfect. I'm going to test out this stuff. So I blew up the air mattress, put it in the back seat, and then it was time to go to bed. And I went to go out of the cabin thing to go to bed, and there were so many mosquitoes. I was like, shoot. So I ran to the car, got in, slammed the door, and I'm sitting in the front seat, and there were 2 mosquitoes that came in with me. I killed those suckers before they could do anything. It was amazing. No more bugs. And I was like, sweet, I've accomplished everything. And then I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get into the back of my car? So then I had to like boost, because the whole thing, so I had to boost myself up, turn myself over in the front seat. I honked the horn with my butt and my hand. And then I had to launch myself over in between the front seat and the passenger seat. And I launched myself onto this air mattress, and then I rolled to the bottom of it, against the back tailgate with my butt and legs in the air. And I could not move. And then I was like, Aaron, what have you done? What? I couldn't reach the tailgate to dump myself out. And I was like, nobody's going to hear me if I yell. I was like, girl, you have to engage your core muscles. Just do it. So then somehow I ended up righting myself, and it was the best sleep I've had in a long time.
Nice.
Fresh air, comfortable air mattress.
That's
so
amazing.
Yep.
Anyways,
wow,
Yeah,
that was
that's
a
great.
roller coaster. I was like,
That's
where,
amazing.
how
I know,
that?
where is it? I know, right? But anyways,
crazy.
it's good. So that's camping. So your hiking sounds much smoother. So I'm happy that
We did not. We did have our. We were in a tent, which is
Okay.
a little easier to maneuver in than
It's true.
air mattress in a vehicle. So
That's true.
Mhm.
Yes.
you sound
Yeah.
like you ended up.
I
at one
might get
point-
a tent.
You were talking about killing the mosquitoes, and then I was like, oh, at one point it sounds like you were like a bug squashed up against the edge of
Yes,
the-
that's
you know,
right.
so
Yes,
that was a good
exactly. It's
visual. Thank
poetic
you for the story.
justice. Yes,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
welcome.
The mosquitoes. They don't
That's
deserve
right.
justice, though. You know.
That's right. They were sitting outside of the vehicle laughing at me. That's
Yeah.
all of their
Yeah.
comrades. Yeah. All right,
Oh,
Rachel.
man.
Sorry. How was your summer?
No, my summer was amazing because I did comps. I wrote my comprehensive
Great.
exams in March, I want to say, like the end of March.
Mhm.
And then after that, I mean, technically I'm on dissertation duty now, but I didn't do any of that. I just basically had fun. I had fun all summer for like many months. I came to
I love it.
Canada, saw you guys
Nice.
in Toronto, visited other
Mhm.
friends and family, and then I went to Texas and visited my family there. And I just like went everywhere and was just like, I'm just gonna go wherever I can and have fun. And I did, and it was awesome. And then I
Love
came
it.
back, and it was really hard to roll out of the fun mode into
Mhm.
work mode. So
Mhm.
we're still kind of working on that. I've kind of the fun has kept marching along up until probably today.
Mhm.
So
No more fun.
yeah,
Fun is
now-
done.
now
That's
the fun is
hilarious.
done. It's over. It's time
That's
for
fun.
serious work now. But
Mhm.
no, so I feel actually really kind of rejuvenated also,
Yeah.
like you, Nicole, and sort of ready to get after it and do some serious work. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited about that. I'm excited about
Yeah.
the work ahead. So
It's great.
that's in my summer in a nutshell, basically.
Sweet.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, and I mean, I think, well, okay, one of the things that we all did this summer, which is what this episode is about, is we did think and pray a little bit about what's going on with our podcast. So we've been 5 years running. If you're new and you haven't really figured out what's going on, because none of what we've said so far is cued into the theme of our podcast, which is suffering.
Mhm.
We've been very blessed to do this for 5 years, and we kind of didn't know whether the Lord wanted us to continue or how he wanted us to continue. So we each took a break and prayed about it. And we want to tell you guys what we came up with. So maybe Nicole, if you want to
Sure.
kind of lay it out.
Yeah. So we as we were talking about this, we had I think there were two kind of themes. One was that the pace of weekly podcasts was starting to feel like not as life-giving as one would, just like a kind of a lot of time, or a little bit challenging given other responsibilities that the Lord has been leading us to. And we also didn't feel like this like mission or this project, this podcast is done. We feel like there are still things to say. And so we just decided that, okay, instead of trying to do a weekly podcast, let's do something that is about monthly. So kind of once a month, a longer form, like a good hour, maybe a little bit more, with probably interviewing people as we've done. And I think some of those are really most like popular and meaningful episodes for people, is just hearing others share their stories and their experiences of navigating difficult times and finding hope in those circumstances. And so we just want to keep bringing those things to you, to our listeners. So that's what we're planning on doing. I don't know when our next first
we haven't
new
gotten that
episode
far.
Yeah.
We've
But this is
decided
the plan.
this. Yeah, that's right. That's the plan.
This
Yes.
is as far as we've gotten.
So
Like the
if
end.
you need to be our next guest, whoever is listening, just,
or if you have things that you're like,
line.
oh, I wish they would talk about this, like let us know.
let us know. Yep.
Yeah.
And it'll be nice because there's a lot of times where we've had an episode and you do have to have a certain amount of kind of self-editing as you're like listening to that, or as you're like going through the episode with the guest, and kind of oftentimes it's like shaping the conversation a little bit or cutting off the conversation. Like you feel like you could talk to somebody for like 5 hours and it would all be beautiful and good and life-giving.
Right.
But we like, it wouldn't make sense for us to do that on a weekly basis. It hadn't before, but now we can, if there are conversations where they might be worth really spending a little bit longer, then we'll be able to do that, which I think will also be really helpful, because then you can just go super deep in things. Yeah. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how that, like, it's exciting, you know, to think
Yeah,
about how
it
that's going to roll out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
exactly.
I think I said this when we had come up with this plan, that it also gives us time, if we know our theme a little bit in advance, to sort of have that percolating in our own minds and hearts for a longer period of time, where we can see what the Lord brings up in our own, from our own experiences too, which would make, I think, our ability to have a deep conversation about something, and
Yeah.
it would intensify that ability, so.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. We've never done this before. This is a new chapter for the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
We're excited.
That's
Exactly.
right. It's going to be fun.
It is.
I
So,
know.
yeah.
I can't wait. It actually is kind of funny because we really have nothing else decided. So I'm just like, as we're talking, I'm like, oh
this
yeah,
is
we
the
don't.
plan. This is what we discerned. Lord, show us the next thing now.
That's right.
That's right.
Sometimes
Exactly.
it's a good way to do things.
He
You take a
revealed to
leap
me in
and-
prayer that Pope Leo, it should be our guest recently. So
I mean, he should be, whether he will be or not.
that's right. So if anybody has any connections,
That's right.
anybody from Chicago or Peru in particular, if you could just touch base with him, or if I see him at the audiences in Rome
There
when
you
I
go.
go there, I'll just invite
There
him.
you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's right.
Listen.
Mostly
Yeah,
jesting,
possible.
but not
Mostly,
But
but
you
could
know,
you imagine?
mostly.
You never
That
know.
would be cool.
Yeah.
We've
That'd
had
be
some
cool.
amazing guests.
It's true.
We have. It's really true. Yeah.
Yeah.
we have. And on that
Some
note,
really
I will
cool.
say before we'll sign off soon. Basically, this is what we want to tell you guys.
That's it.
And we've
Mhm.
said it, and there you go. But we're really excited to be with you all in this new format, having the same kinds of conversations. But we do have 5 seasons of these conversations
Yes.
sort of already recorded and uploaded at wherever you get podcasts. So if you
Yeah.
know someone that needs to sort of hear one of those episodes, you think, or, if you have something you're going through and you're not sure if there's stuff out there to listen to or to think through, just give our prior seasons a browse, and
Yeah.
because there might be
There's a lot.
something there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
There's
there's
a
a
lot
lot
there.
there.
Yep.
By the grace of God, we covered a lot of ground, and yeah, it's been so amazing so far.
We've not
And-
exhausted all the types of suffering, but
No.
like we've got.
That's right. There's at least 30,000 that we haven't touched on yet. So by the
right.
time
We've been
by the
counting.
time we die, we might have covered a good chunk of
That's right.
those. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
right.
Yeah.
All right. So on that
Exciting.
note, on the note of
Thanks
our
for
death,
listening, everyone.
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh,
thank you.
do you want? So we used to do God winks.
Oh,
Can I
yeah.
just like share a random God wink?
Please
Yes.
do.
It's not really a God wink, I guess. It's just kind of a funny thing that happened. So my birthday is in February, and okay, so that's the first piece of information you need to know.
Got it.
Excellent.
Second piece of information. I created my church's like social media Instagram page, and then I share that with one of the parishioners who like helps to run it and stuff. So somehow through this, my personal Facebook account became connected with her personal Facebook account,
Oh,
and all of a sudden I woke up September 1st and people were sending me happy birthday messages because
gosh.
apparently that was my birthday.
That's
And
hilarious.
so I got a whole bunch of birthday messages, and it was, I mean, no, very few people actually memorize other people's birthdays,
yes,
right?
100%.
Yeah.
And so I had a few people who like are my like birthday memorizing people who like immediately messaged me, were like, "It's not your birthday. Why is it saying your birthday?" And I was like, "Yeah, good question." So anyways, but it was just, but I still kind of, I got all these, I wrote a little
Totally.
message on Facebook. I was like, "Hey everybody, it's not my birthday, but if you still want to wish me happy birthday, like go ahead."
That's a great hack.
I got
though.
like 30 birthday messages, and I went and read them all, and I like hearted them and responded just like I do on my actual birthday.
yeah.
So
It's like a hack.
Your
nice.
half birthday.
If
Yeah,
you
it was
need
yeah.
some encouragement, you just have to
Yeah.
change your birthday.
just change your
and then-
birthday.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Gosh,
then
there you
that
go.
is-
you get all these people.
Yeah,
Rachel's like planning in her head right now.
Right.
Rachel's like,
Yeah.
that
How
is
can
an
I
amazing
coach?
idea.
Yes, plan. But also, it's kind of like it was your half birthday. We
Yeah.
could also start
Very
with
close
that.
to it. Actually,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
like only 3 days off, 4 days off from
Yeah.
my
Oh,
half
see,
birthday.
perfect. It's
Ah,
great.
we'll take
then.
it as that.
Yeah, exactly. That's
That's
great.
so cool. Got some September 1st encouragement.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
All right, folks. We really
All
love
right.
you all. Thank you for
Yeah.
listening. Thank you for sticking with us, and
Yeah.
Mm.
look forward to. I guess we'll say within the next 4 weeks there will be an episode
Mm-hmm.
probably.
That is the
coming
goal.
out. That's the
Yes.
goal.
That is our
That's
desire.
the goal. This is my desire to honor you,
That's
Lord, of all my heart. I worship you. Anyways.
That's not gonna work because we were singing at the same time, but I feel like it's
Oh
doing
yes, that's
profane.
right. That
It's
always
okay.
messes up the recording.
That'll be
Anyways, we will
right.
not sing on any other recordings for this year. We promise. Maybe.
That's right.
I don't think we can keep that promise. I don't think that's possible.
Agreed.
All
All
right.
right, everyone.
Thanks for
All right,
listening.
you guys. God bless you.
God
we'll
bless.
see you
Bless
in
y'all.
a month. Bye.
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 Thank you for joining us for this episode of In the Thicket. If you like what you hear, give us a rating and hit that subscribe button. We have new episodes every Monday with more stories and honest conversations about life when the going gets rough and the hope and humor amidst it all. We'd love for you to join our community on Instagram and Facebook at In the Thicket Podcast. While you're there, let us know how we can pray for you. God bless and see you next week.